each other. You guys know what you're getting in each other.
Yeah, I think it's really incredible. And just to be able to come back and have, that chemistry, that camaraderie with one another, that understanding and awareness of where people are going to be at and who likes to do what, that's something you can't put on a fast track. So with all the experience that we had last year, I was really excited to get back with this group again this year. Because you can just feel we almost pick up right where we left off.
Well, to that end, the second unit will be a little revamped this year, but familiar face coming in, Kennedy Burke. So how excited are you to be working with her again?
Yeah. So KB and I were in Seattle together for a little bit, so nice for her to be back in the WNBA. I think she can continue to bring a lot to us, a lot of versatility, offensively and defensively, and knowing that, our bench might be looking a little bit different in some of the spots, but the new ones are excited to be here and ready to come in and make an impact.
Appreciate your 10 minutes. Thank you.
This is your first full training camp as Liberty. Your family's already here in Custom. Is it a bit easier, I guess, that it's less of a whirlwind coming into the season?
For sure. I mean, I feel like when I think about last year, it was like coming right from Turkey, having to move like my entire life from Seattle. I started training camp with no furniture, and now to be like settled, I know where I live, I know my things, I know what my kids are doing, and I just come here to work with my team and continue to get better.
Are you slowly accustoming to the New York City lifestyle a little bit? Or
I'm on the subway. I take the subway a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Go through the lanes and figure things out?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm just like can't do the traffic or like the drivers make me car sick a little bit.
So what did you work on this off season, and how do you think you can get back to another MVP season for yourself?
I mean, I thought first of all it was incredible to be able to have an off season where I could like not be rehabbing, not be overseas, and just work out. So Olaf and I have been working on a lot of different things, like change of pace, going from fast to slow to fast, ball handling, ISO situations on the perimeter. Because at the end of the playoffs, I was doing some point forward, like setting up the offense with Sloot and Sab also on the court. So having situations like that where we can quickly change people's positions on the court and be ready for it.
How tough was it to go as far as you did last year and just to win short and 1 point short there in Game 4? And how long did that stick with you?
Oh my gosh. Honestly, it still sticks with me. I don't think it'll not stick with me. But now it's just looked at differently. I was really frustrated for a while, probably at least a few months, just the way things ended and the last seconds on the court, me not shooting a last shot, those type of things were tough because I would like to have gotten a shot up there. But now it's kind of like turning the page and how can I learn from this? You can't. I can't kind of beat myself up about it for too long, and just know that as long as I learn something from it, then I'm going to be in a good place and know that things will be different next time.
Do you think this is the whole point's to win the championship, and so do you think this team is, with the improved bench, you would think is more equipped now to get that last step and get to where you want to go? Yeah,
I mean, I think like the chemistry and experience together is something that's really, really important, and for us to have that during the highs and lows of the season. You could say the first half of the season we were finding ways to win, but it wasn't the prettiest. And after All-Star, it was really great. Most of the playoffs, we were able to kind of play well together. But now we know, and we know what we can do when other people are struggling. How can we lift people up? How can we put people in better spots? And just manage it all better.
Breanna, when you're someone who's been equally deep in both on and off the court affairs in the WNBA, be it business, be it activism. So coming off the momentum of perhaps the most popular March Madness tournament we've seen. Sorry, Dr. Khan. But
the men won.
Oh, yeah, that's right. But when it comes to that, how can the W kind of capitalize on the momentum generated by March Madness, and how have they done so already?
I mean, I think the WNBA can just continue to make sure that it's marketing and promoting its best players. I think that's something that's really important. Even the marketing strategy with the commercials, like I did the Rookie O's and Enrique did the facial whatever that was. That's never been done before. To kind of like have a different way of portraying the league and getting people to pay attention to us. And then also just making sure that we have the best that we can have. Obviously, not much can change because we're currently still under a CBA, but I think the league has to take advantage of this momentum as well.
Appreciate your time.
Give me your feelings about the draft class, bringing Angel Reese to the league, Caitlin Clark to the league. Give me your feelings about those two athletes and many more to come for the future.
Yeah, I mean, I think this year's draft class was really impressive. Obviously, everybody knew Caitlin was going to go number 1. But then, you see like Cam, you see Rickea Jackson, Cardoza, Angel Reese, obviously our draft pick, Kui. There's a lot of impactful rookies that are going to do special things on and off the court in the WNBA. Not only this season, because it'll be a little bit of a learning curve just for going to the next level, but for multiple seasons to come.
Did you see the Minnesota-Chicago live stream thing that happened last night?
Someone said like 197,000 views or something.
Yeah, how does that make you feel?
Wait, so was it streaming on Twitter or like?
So someone basically, it was supposed to be League Pass, like advertised that they were supposed to have it, but didn't. And then it wasn't on YouTube either. So some girl just like took out her cell phone during the game and live streamed it on Twitter. Yeah, it was like actually got a lot of views. So how does that feel?
I mean, it means people want to watch. And I feel like, okay, he left, but here's my answer. Making sure that, as many of these games are being able to be watched as possible, so the app is easy. Obviously, there's blackouts and things like that, but putting us in as many national televised channels that, like, everyone gets, not the ones where it's like you have to pay for, like mainstream cable type things. Because it's important, because look at girl had 197,000 people watching her live stream. It's crazy.
It got over 1 million.
What?
It's wild.
What?
Crazy.
Speaking of accessibility, every Liberty game will be on free TV in New York City.
Yeah.
What's that impact of that?
I mean, I think it's great. The fact that we're gonna have excuse me. Let me get a little bit of water real quick. I'm struggling with a toddler sickness. The fact that we're going to have like all of these games broadcasted for free. I think it's Fox 5 and My 9, right? That's what I've been told. See, look at me. It's really cool because it's, people that can't be in the arena can still watch. And there's a lot of people, like, I know my grandparents in general, like, you go to their house after 5 o'clock, they have the news on. So now people will be able to have WNBA games on, Liberty games on, and just continue to reach new fans.
What's been a memorable moment from this first week of training camp for you?
I think a memorable moment from this first week is just like the growth that the rookies have had, the way that I feel like when they first came in, they were like a little bit like, oh my God, a little starstruck, but they want to learn, they ask questions, they're doing all the right things, and that's what my advice to rookies would be like, hey, find someone and pick their brain about whatever you need. And they've done that, so it's great to see and just wanting to help them as much as possible.
Talk about the rookies being when you were a rookie coming in, is there anyone that you got starstruck over?
In Seattle or just in general?
In Seattle, through training camp, just your experience.
Well, knowing that I was going to play with Sue was something that was really exciting for me. It was a little bit different because I played national teams since 2014. So I was able to be around her, but like in the WNBA, it would have been Candace, and that was my WNBA debut.
How has that training camp evolved since you were a rookie to now?
In a lot of different ways. I think just like the treatment of players. Not to say it was bad, obviously, but it's just continued to grow. The accessibility, like what we have access to, the food before practice, after practice, like making sure there's always somebody there ready to kind of prep you as much as possible. I need a tissue. I'm sorry, you guys.
Tissue?
Yeah. Does anybody have a tissue?
I'll find one.
So maybe I'm gonna run to the bathroom.
Do you think?